Blog Talk Radio.
Good evening, everybody. This is Shop Local for Good News. Entrepreneurs Empowered.
Amazing title and topic. I'm very excited to be here.
Yay. Tonight's guest is Janelle Branch. She's the COO of the Ring Workspaces in downtown Clearwater. We are also on Facebook Live. I'm trying to do 5 things at once here, as usual. And so if you'd like to jump over to Facebook Live and on the Shop Local for Good page, you can put a comment in because our technology guru, who's also known as my daughter, Lorena, is watching comments on Facebook Live. So if you have any questions for Janelle or me, feel free to comment. If you're watching live, feel free to say hi. If you're a small business owner, we'd love for you to tag your business, especially if you're in Tampa Bay, because we like to share small businesses and empower them. And also, if you are a part of a local nonprofit, especially an all-volunteer managed nonprofit, make sure you tag that in our comments as well, because we'd like to connect with you. The Benevolution Foundation is our nonprofit. It's basically a nonprofit incubator, and we like to help coach all volunteer managed nonprofits in the Tampa Bay community. Basically, we teach them how to find a perfect board member, which there is a board member. But we like to show them how to interview the board members and see if they actually know what they're getting into.
What are the qualities, the characteristics, if they know what the industry or the cause is about.
Right. Yeah, if they're excited about your cause or your mission. And then we teach them ways to build community awareness.
Okay,
for example, events.
Events are critical, absolutely. It gets the awareness out there. So the more you have, the more we can network with like-minded individuals, the more we can create and build.
Exactly. That's why I love the Ring. Yeah. The Ring is so awesome. I walk in here and I'm like, my people! These are a bunch of entrepreneurs.
Well, the beauty of the Ring is that, you know, Janelle and Simi, who are the co-founders of the Ring, had this vision. And, of course, I joined the team early while they were sort of conceptualizing. So I was able to, you know, have an impact, of course, as well on the product. We consider ourselves constantly evolving, so who knows where we will be in the future. But we all come from different parts of the world. We all see things very differently. And so because of that, we're able to sort of assess, okay, how will this person respond to, you know, what we're putting before them? How will they like this event? Because we're looking at it from different angles. Like I said, you know, our experiences were different, both culturally and professionally. So we took that experience, we took that knowledge of ourselves and everything that we know to be sort of dynamic in today's professional environment and brought it into the Ring. So when you do feel that sense of, okay, there's something balanced around here, it's literally because you're getting multiple minds that are coming together and creating a cohesive single goal and vision, which is also very difficult to do if you're working in a nonprofit organization.
Right.
Everyone has an opinion, you know, and for everyone to see that one mission, to get behind that one cause is so critical. So we were lucky to some sort that we got along very well.
How did you meet?
So I met Daniels in actually Schiller University. Schiller was like a local school here. Yeah. I wanted to travel and study. I actually was going to take a sabbatical, but decided to go to school. And my friend said, hey, there's a school that allows you to do both. So we met there basically on student government. So from the get-go, we were sort of always wanting to be a part of creating things. And Simi's his wife, so I met Simi through him. And I think their story goes back to school as well, but I'll let them tell that part.
Okay. We'll have them on another show.
Yeah, it would be amazing.
So I have heard about the late night the stories of the late night brainstorming.
Late night brainstorming, yes. What we call the roots.
Yes.
Yeah, my life was spent certainly in the Ring for the greater portion of its development. And I think that's when our juices flow. I love to take out my shoes and then connect with the earth and let that energy flow through me. So for the Ring, we did our best work, I think, at basically very late at night. I would probably say sometimes up to like 3 a.m.
Right.
We would be here working.
Before the walls were even in
Before the walls were in there, yeah. We utilized the second floor, actually. This was our playground for some greater part of it. And then Simi actually went off to study. So we lost a great mind, but not too far.
Okay.
She wanted to study sustainability a lot more, get in depth with it. So yeah, that's a little bit of the background.
So what was the beginning? I mean, was there like a study that you noticed that you wanted, or what was the passion to drive it? I mean, the environment in here. It's also a little bit, for me anyway, I get excited when I'm around other entrepreneurs
Right.
that I know genuinely enjoy working with each other. I mean, running into someone in a shared kitchen, everybody's friendly.
Absolutely.
You guys are just the bomb.
Thank you.
When I had my first networking event, and I have to tell you guys, you worked your butt off on getting my slideshow to work.
We tried our best.
It was my fault because I don't do Apple.
No. We're still working out some kinks. So
It worked out really well.
I'm very happy.
And then there was another networking event going on in the kitchen, and they came through, and it was all neat to meet everybody.
Absolutely. A mortgage group launched their office there, so that was great. I love the diversity that you bring, shop local, and it's just a whole bunch of stuff. We're so excited about our little dragonfly and our scorpion. Like, literally, it's become a little iconic for the ring.
Really?
Yeah, everyone comes up and go, what is that? And it's like this little dragonfly. So please, everyone, check out Karen's, I want to call it almost artifacts because they're, but you're little animals. They're so cute, but yeah.
Oh, my husband's the copper artist.
Yes, you told me.
Yes.
I keep on giving you the accolades. It doesn't matter.
Yes,
you can take it.
he's the artist for Rock Community. He's also the guy that has built 2 stores of shelves that we've had to also take down and move.
Wow.
Because
Okay.
we had to pivot. And that's where I see a lot of that kind of energy here. For example, when the slideshow wasn't working the way I gave it to you, you figured out a way to pivot and use the computer from the front desk. So everybody in the kitchen got to see the slideshow.
Yes, they did. They did actually just walk right behind. Like, what's that going on the screen? Oh, well, that's in the room next door.
We're so awesome. I love that about you guys because you don't let any challenges overwhelm you.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people do that. They call what a former boss of mine used to say, overcome the obstacles, Karena.
Absolutely. It's about problem solving and taking it one step at a time. There will always be a plan A, B, C. And that's just the way you have to operate, I think, in the world, in the real environment as well. We will be hit with so many obstacles. Right. And if you let it overcome you, you're probably going to fail. So we don't want you to fail. Right. You have to keep going, and that's the name of the game. You get knocked down, you get back up, and that's the spirit we try to bring to the ring as well. The name is indicative of that platform. Yeah. Daniel's boxed a little bit as a kid. I think right now everyone thinks he's an ex-boxer. He did not do a professional round anywhere as far as I know, but he is truly passionate about it. But we more channel the spirit of the entrepreneur. We see the spirit of the entrepreneur being that fighter. You get knocked down, you get back up, you train harder, and you go again. And that actually set the tone for the name, since you wanted to know. Then in terms of the actual concept, I would say it's lifestyle. We believe health it's a lifestyle. It's more than just physical. It's more than just mental. It's spiritual. It's so many things. It's your environment. It's the people you're around. Right. It's your business. Your business has to be healthy too. And for that, like I said, going back to our experiences, Simi worked in technology a little bit. It was a cubicle. It was very dark. She was very unhappy. She longed for freedom and then basically said, I'm going to go into real estate. Right. That was her background. Daniel has always been into real estate, but a serial entrepreneur. I've always loved technology. I've always loved building things. I was actually going to go into law, and because I love solving problems, right? It's like I get a case and I want to tackle it. But I also love that world of creation. Even as an artist, you don't want to see my work really because I don't like saying I'm an artist. I don't produce enough. But this allowed me to be free because it allowed me to innovate. And that's so critical to these types of businesses. I see our camera lady shaking her head in the back there, so I know she's like-minded. So we kind of brought these different aspects of our character together and what we consider to be the trifecta, because we're seeing things from different angles. Things mean different parts of the ring have stronger meanings for each of us. And then going along the line of commercial real estate redevelopment, there was some synergy coming through. Sometimes, it has to be the right timing, it has to be the right concept, but when we started to see all these sort of stars align, we're like, okay, we have to do this, Right. I think them being Daniels and Simi, hello there again. Let's shout out. I love to, of course, support our team when they're not here. But them being in the real estate industry, they're looking to also innovate. They were looking to create that shift and that platform. I came in and I said, hey, I really care about the data. I want to know what that shift is going to do later on. And so did they. But either way, that sort of fused together, and then we started to focus on these three verticals. It was nature, it was the people, and it was the technology within the space. So we categorized it and started building on each one. What does nature represent? It's the environment. It's about bringing the biophilic elements, so your moss walls and our plants indoors. What does that do for the human? You talked about our late nights. Our late nights are literally filled with, where did man start? Okay.
I have to get in on one of those late nights.
Yeah. And understanding that and really caring about it, because we are organisms, we are evolving, and so must our industries evolved and the things that we do. And you talked about sort of getting knocked down. Well, you can't be stagnant. So we get knocked down. Exactly. So that was, like I said, the tone was the lifestyle. And then there was a great opportunity. Daniel's, the family had a third floor, The third floor was sitting empty. I was trying to think between the two of them, but the third floor was empty. This floor was the Chamber of Commerce, the second floor. And
we're in the Bank of America building, by the way, in downtown Clearwater.
I probably should drop that in there, but
I forgot to say it. It's 600 Cleveland Street on the Rockin' 600 block.
I love that, on the Rockin' 600. I'm going to take that. No, that's all I'm going to say.
You have to Google hashtag Rockin' 600 block.
Hashtag Rocking 600 block. I love it.
You'll see a few pictures of it together.
Okay, so this is a thing.
I've been doing a hashtag Rocking 600 block campaign for about 6 months.
Okay.
Try to build up the 600 block.
This is brilliant. Well, and we're right here, and I think it's the next it block. There was the 400, 500 coming to be, but here we are on 600. So either way, we demoed the third floor. Like I said, 15 years sitting empty. Waste of space, waste of energy, because you're still
15 years,
15 years, and you're still putting power. You're still cooling that space with no one there, blowing a lot of dust. It's an entire floor. The walls came down and the light came in. It's the simplest way to put that. And we said, wow, this illumination is beautiful. What can we do within this space? Naturally, the competitors in us wanted to compete against our next door neighbors, the other commercial spaces with all of glass. And essentially build executive suites, because it was something that was not part of the building. There wasn't anywhere for a smaller office space. That's when Simi came in and she said, you know what, I think we can do something different. Why not? Let's not just build cubicles, let's make it a community.
Nice.
Very cool. And because of that said, well, in the spirit of community, we wanted to understand ourselves once more and the greater community at large, which is our international community. And that's when we started traveling. And so we traveled, we visited different spaces. We just wanted to understand how people connected, what were the interrelationships between their physical environment and their workspace. So we sat and we spoke to them. We literally disrupted their day to find out, by the way, so how do you feel today in this space? Is that lighting affecting you? And so that drove, we had our internal data that we were collecting. So anywhere from, like I said, London, obviously a lot of the U.S., California, New York, places that were pioneering and were co-working. Amsterdam, there's a lot of workspaces. And what we realized is that the European countries, they really do care about their environment. It is about how do you reuse and recycle material as opposed to consume. So it's not consumer driven as much as probably the Western world. And so we realized that's something that we needed to do. Brought that concept here, obviously. I want to say that we all have really good taste in things. So, between Daniels is actually, I would say, the true interior designer of the group. I'm more of the artist, where I would literally sketch it like he'll be talking to me and I'll start sketching things. I want to give a shout out to Claire PH and Tate Escape. They were actually our two designers on the project that focused on communal areas. We have some beautiful communal areas.
I like to say we.
It is we. Of course it's we. It's us. It's we. You're part of the ecosystem. I'm just like a little ant in there working too. So, but either way, they were part of that project. And like I said, just a lot of minds coming together. We were very strong on what we wanted to see. We wanted to see the brick. We wanted to see these different natural materials.
Well, it wasn't inexpensive either, because all of the time and the materials that you used are very specific.
They are very specific, and so people ask all the time, what is eco-friendly? Bisphenols and phthalates. That's the chemical words, I think, very technical words, but those are your BPAs. Today we see everything as BPA-free plastic. What the hell does that mean? Basically these two little compounds love to leach onto materials. And when it gets into essentially the water stream, it becomes very toxic. So that's why you've seen now a lot of plastics say we've eliminated this bisphenol, we've eliminated this phthalate, and now it's a little bit more sound. In our space specifically, we have no plastic. Well, we try to be plastic free. It's very impossible. Polyurethane is just about everywhere. But these are the things that we have technically removed to a greater degree. Your PVCs in order to build our space. So that becomes very costly because, like I said, just about everything is coated with some sort of sealant. Something has a plastic component. And it was very hard to avoid. Finding Cat6 cable for any of the technical people watching and listening. That is your simple Ethernet cord. Ours is devoid of a PVC jacketing. It actually helps with the insulation. But either way, we were able to find it. That came at a very high delta.
I bet.
100 feet, let's say it's $80. Ours would be 100 feet closer to $700-800.
Wow.
So exponential.
But you went all the way down to that little detail.
Precisely, and that's why I'm bringing it up. It's literally every nut, every bolt. We had a phenomenal consultant on this project. His name is Bakari Kennedy. He sits on the local chapter for Green Building Committee over in Tampa and GBCI, Green Building Institute. So we had another great mind. He was happy because we were just choosing things that he was like, this technically meets it, so we're okay. And for us, a stamp didn't matter. It wasn't like it was LEED certified, so good. Right. I'll just throw in there because this is another fact that really goes unheard. We are cruelty-free. We say it if you're walking with myself or Daniels. We tend to put it there a lot. So there are no leathers in the space. Even our cotton, where we get our cotton, we try to use recycled cotton, which is also interesting, but that's the degree that we do care. I'm very passionate about the project, obviously. I believe in what we're doing, and I come from a background of saying I just feel like we don't really have much of a choice anymore. It's kind of to the point where you've done so much bad. How do you start cleaning that up? And it's
you back up.
Yeah, you back up. There you go. You back up, and that's what I said. We started looking at how did mankind begin? What did they do? What were the tools they needed? And created that symmetry within our workspace environment. So.
Well, I have to tell you, Saturday, when we were doing the Craft Beer Festival, a couple of my friends showed up, and he's a permaculturist.
Okay.
And he's traveled all over the world, and I've been friends with him for quite a while. We volunteered together in North Greenland.
Beautiful,
He was helping them put together a garden, and I was doing the executive director at a community center.
Okay.
That volunteered.
That is amazing. You are a woman of every trade. You are a serial entrepreneur, a serial giver. Like, the more and more I listen to you, I'm so enthralled by everything you're saying, because it's just, you have all this experience, and that's the beauty of it too. We want to hear from people like you.
Well, I had my partner that was at the tent, or the booth, the shop local for booth, and I'm like, I have to take them up to see the ring, because he's a permaculturist. And
amazing.
He's very earth conscious.
Absolutely.
And so they came up here, and his wife had worked in in this building on the, what did she say, the 9th floor, 7th floor.
Okay.
Years and years and years. And so when they walked in, they went up to the walls and they're like, wow. It was that way the whole way through. And I'm like, and let me show you this. And let me show you this.
Wow.
So he was really excited about the whole project.
I love that they touch everything, by the way. This is the one environment where it's okay.
How do they water it? So I got to ask you, how do you water the moss?
We don't. So the moss is self-preserved, and what happens with moss, because everyone's kind of like, I don't really get it. So moss is actually one of the most complex species on the face of the earth. They have over 35,000 genes. They claim it's like even more complex than the human body. So it's very unique. Either way, it also captures a lot of moisture, right? And that's how moss thrives. Basically, it relies on moisture and that particles in the air. And what happens is once it is harvested, it's then placed in glycerin, right? Glycerin is basically this oil. So they dry it out, they place it in the glycerin, and what happens is that helps to really capture all of the moisture that has been in there for a long time. Okay. Well, simply put, pretty sure there's a couple other steps involved.
Right.
But and then that process is dried out. So what the moss is doing is actually feeding off of the moisture in the air.
Oh wow.
So it's like it's preserved because it doesn't require a lot of water, because it has, like I said, this coating over it that helps it sort of slow down. So think of it like a lot of sunscreen, right, where your skin will not get burnt. So it's our little moss there, and it's thriving on its own. And what's unique about our moss is that we have several species, but the backing of the moss is basically, one is the foam, and we wanted to see what does that look like, and then the other one is actually mushroom and wood chips. Oh, wow. One really smart company, even though the product is no longer with us, they decided to grow mushroom panels because it helps with sound dampening and also helps with that moisture. It's a little bit, if you feel it's a little bit more cold. So yeah, it's just very unique in that regard. Can't take credit for the moss, but shout out to Artisan Moss and to also Patricia Thomas. She was responsible for some pieces. And
great. Okay, so how long did it take you to design from concept to grand opening?
We're still designing.
Okay, so concept to grand opening and continuing to grow.
Sure. So I would say concept to grand opening, it was probably a year, a true year of formalizing everything we wanted and, making alterations. We went through probably 6 or so renderings for certain areas. So it is a very long process. Our plans, if you also look at our architectural plans, it's very different. We did a lot of things in the field because it didn't feel right. So that's why I said the ring is about emotion. It's a sensory experience. If it wasn't balanced, and there's still things, that's what I'm saying, like we want to fix because they're like, man, we have to be very specific when you're talking to some of these people. Like, it has to align, So you will see things that are a little bit off, but it's okay. We're really working on it for this project in future. But yeah, I would say a year. Not to go too long.
Well, and that's what's so, I think, exciting for me because I love watching things grow. And so getting in the beginning, or sort of the beginning, for me is exciting. Because I like to be a part of growing, and what I've noticed with you and Chris and, her name is Lauren, they're so in tune to, for example, if I have a question, they're right there.
Yeah.
I mean, and you too. Or if I have a suggestion or anything,
Absolutely.
You're personally connected with all the members. So when you walk in here, it's like a family.
It is a family, and
that's what it seems like.
Yeah, I love that word, family. And we are, again, it's going back to nature. Everything is intertwined. I talk about energy and all of this, but the reality is that there is a mother tree in the forest, and everything is connected to that root system, and basically what happens to that. So that's how we see it. If we don't set the right tone, then our members will feel it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I had a phone call during the show. Oh my goodness.
Busy. Right. But
so let's discuss a little bit because there's levels where and this is what I love about it too. It's affordable. to be a part of the ring.
Yes, it is.
It's so affordable.
It's affordable.
Really affordable.
We understand the pains of growing a business and starting a business, and it's very costly. Capital is the most critical, besides human capital, of course. But so we wanted to make sure that it was something that was going to be accessible, so affordable and accessible. The city grant, we were gifted, I should say, or awarded with a $600,000 grant from the city of Clearwater for half of our construction initially. The project was estimated at 1.2. We have since gone above budget to 2.1 million. The numbers have inverted themselves. Whoopsie indeed. But we realized the need to innovate. We realized there was so much more that we had to bring into the project. So, you know, Daniel took that risk. This is a self-funded project, and said, this is just the beginning, you know, so we have to do a few things really, really well, and then everything else we can optimize. So,
well, because there's something like this in the country, right?
Apparently,
We're special.
We're special. There are, I don't want to disregard other movers and shakers and people who are building sustainable, amazing spaces. There is this workspace out in New York. They're called Primary. They have a really great dynamic within there. They're also very health focused, so they make sure they have their yoga room. You know, they have it every morning, as far as I know. The people are very helpful. You can feel it, and that's the beauty of community and co-working. It's like, this is our family here, but guess what? There's another family, another family.
Oh, they're cousins.
They're cousins. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Very costly. Sorry, definitely a lot more expensive. But that grant allowed us to offset some of the costs, so therefore we can pass that along to our members.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
So it goes from everything from having a mailbox,
yes,
to having a seat at a table that is a quiet area. So
yes,
and that's monthly.
That's monthly, a shared area basically.
Or daily.
If you want a day pass, absolutely.
And then to my level, which is I'm at this really big, huge, long table that you have to tell the story about.
So you are very unique. So our Contenders Club,
contender.
You are a contender. We love this concept. Actually, Contender started as Fight Club.
Oh, God.
There you go. That would have been cool. But then we got into, what does the word fight, you know, mean? How is that received? So, you know, we went back to the drawing board and we said, you know, we feel like contenders in this world. We're all trying to get somewhere. Either way, but the Contenders Club came up because of Clearwater, where we felt as though we wanted to target the entrepreneur. We wanted to have them feel comfortable enough to work in a Starbucks type of setup. So that's why you get this very long table. However, get the business amenities and resources that they need, the basic tools. You know, a guaranteed spot, locker so I can leave my things, 24/7 access, and
that's
internet.
Wonderful.
There you go. Yeah. Internet and parking in Clearwater. So that's what set the tone. We wanted to retain talent in these beautiful minds like Karen and her daughters that's behind the camera in Clearwater, because the truth is, you might say, you know what, I need to move to Tampa, I need to move to St. Pete, or I need to move to another state because I just can't get the right environment, I can't get the right workspace.
Well, I'm a second generation, dude. This is Pinellas County.
Well, you're not going anywhere.
Drag me out of here kicking and screaming.
Fair enough. But we wanted to make sure that, like I said, we brought something of quality, something that was needed into the community, and that sort of forged Contenders Club. Yeah.
It's very awesome because I'm technically a bike ride away. That's where I live.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I don't live too far. My daughter.
And you're cycling. Oh, wow. So we have green energy. No, that's wonderful. I do walk sometimes, but I drive most of the time.
It's pretty hot.
It is hot. It is a bit warm. But yeah, Contenders Club is really cool. We wanted to retain talent, like I mentioned, in Clearwater. We want people to help grow this economy with us. I'm new to this area specifically. Well, new meaning 4 years because the project kind of brought me here. But I love to say, if you're going to be a part of anything, be an asset. Be someone who is changing for the good. And again, very simple premise. That's what Contenders is about. It's about collaboration. It's about connecting with people. So that's why we feel like it's very needed, because it represents everything, like
Well, what's so awesome too about Contenders Club is it's not just the seat at the table. Like you said, I have a dedicated drawer, but I also get credits.
You get credits.
And I get to spend. And what I spent my credits on last month was the networking event in the ring. You guys got to come here and tour that conference room because it is just gorgeous.
Thank you very much.
It's just, I'm like, wow, I could camp in here. It's really neat. I mean, it's got mood lighting. Yep. It has the music. It has this wonderful drop-down screen that really does a good slideshow and they work on it for me. I take that to you like at the last minute.
That's absolutely fine.
So, and you guys are phenomenal in setting up the room. It was just fantastic.
I do want to say, like, our team could not be any more perfect. But awesome. Yeah, absolutely. It's a let's get it done attitude, but I'm happy you liked it. The ring, as is many things, a vision of truly what we conceptualized. You know, we saw the walls being covered in cork. Daniel really wanted to set the stage for the entrepreneur. So the entire, from the post to the boxing ropes, they're all his concept. I have to give him accolades for that. So that design, like I said, was him, the brass inlay in the floor. We wanted it to feel a little colder. A lot of people wonder, like, why did they go with concrete? Because we wanted it to feel like that little dungeon, like you're there and you're like getting ready to fight and you put on your Rocky music and you're like, I got this, you know? That is our pitch room. So a little bit more about the ring and what it means to be in that conference room. That setup was meant for pitching your greatest ideas to a group of venture capitalists. We were going to do this internally through our network. Luckily, we have caught the attention of Harvard University for two different studies, actually. So one of that being the innovation ecosystem, very fancy and long way to say, hey, we want to see who are the startups in our neighborhood and what can we offer to them so that they can actually grow their businesses and achieve their objectives. So the ring would be the place that you would step into and essentially pitch for your life, fight for your life. And, you know, even if it doesn't happen there, definitely keep going. But that's the spot that we hope that happens for you. You turn around.
It's always good to practice.
It's always good to practice. No, that's a brilliant, great comment. That's the truth. We should be practicing probably more in the ring. So, but yeah, that would be also the space for that.
When I speak at city council, because I'm a resident, I get 3 minutes. Talk about anything I want to.
There you go.
Yes, the mayor gets a kick out of me. No, so when I do make it to city council meetings, I like to talk about how stuff, you know, what's happening, events coming up, because most of the time when people go there, they're not very happy. In fact, the last 2 times I went there were crowds there that were complaining, and then there's Happy Karena, and the mayor's like, "Only no, I'm kidding." So. Where was I going with that? Oh, public speaking. Yeah. So people, to me, they're like, how do you do that? Because 3 minutes, you've got to time it and pretty much know what you're doing.
You're absolutely right.
Because when your 3 minutes is up, the mayor kicks you out.
Yep.
You're like, okay, bye.
Yep.
Because they have to keep the meeting going.
Yeah.
They'll be there till midnight. So somebody asked me, you know, how do you do that? I go, practice. I could go back to the first time I spoke because I was raised to respect authority, and so when I'm around people way back then. Yeah. Not so much anymore.
No, yeah. Can I put myself back then? Right. We were raised similarly.
So I was speaking, my first time was at the school board meeting. Mm-hmm. And I was pretty passionate about what I was talking about. I've actually home educated for 25 years.
Oh, wow.
But I'm very passionate about education in general, because not everybody can keep their kids at home. Exactly. Without telling them.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier these days than it was when I first started, you know, because now we have the internet and I don't have to have a whole library in my house.
Yep.
Even though I still do.
Knowledge is literally a click away.
Like you wouldn't believe. But so I remember that first time that I was speaking at the school board meeting, my knees were shaking. I could hear my voice shaking. I was a mess. And I had 3 minutes. I had notes. Yeah, I had notes. And I'd left, and I was, because all the meetings around here are televised, left my glasses on top of my head. I just was crazy. So I didn't even think about it. I did it. And then, okay. And I knew I was nervous. Well, one of my friends saw me on TV, and she's like, oh my gosh, you're on TV. So I can't stand watching myself either, because, oh, am I a critic?
I'm a little shocked that we're live right now.
I'm so critical of myself.
Yeah, my good side.
Yeah. But, so I watched it, and I could hear, I knew that I was a mess. She goes, you were fantastic.
Oh,
but
wow.
when I watched it, I could hear my voice shaking.
Yeah.
I knew that my knees were shaking. But my point is, that was, holy cow, 15 years ago.
Wow.
And you just have to keep going. Facebook Live. Oh, I don't think I could do a Facebook Live. Well, my suggestion to them is you could set up a secret Facebook group with a group of your friends and just practice.
There you go.
You go live in that group. You're only surrounded by people who genuinely will give you constructive feedback.
Right.
And they won't, make you feel bad.
That's a great suggestion. I feel like I should do that.
Because there's secret groups. I have secret groups on Facebook.
Do you really? What do I have to do to qualify for the secret group?
no. And they're local business owners that when I started the Market Space for Good concept.
Okay.
By bringing in, that's kind of over now.
I was about to say, can you tell me more about this Market Space for Good? That sounds really interesting.
So what it was, I work with a lot of vendors that work outside. That's why when you came up to me at the Craft Beer Festival, I'm like, now you know what I do.
Yeah.
So I work with a lot of the food truckers and the vendors that work outside. Well, during the summer, it's a mess because either their products are melting or they're dying of heat stroke.
Yeah.
So what I wanted to grow, what I wanted to build, and what I'm still thinking about was I was invited into a work community to try to bring something economic.
Yeah, some sort of stimulation, something there.
So instead of a market outside, I put together the Market Space, which was a retail store, and each shelf was a member, and they were the market members that would, so they could sell their stuff all year long without nothing. And then, so that was the secret group, was the original Market Space.
That is so cool.
And we've gone through quite a few pivots. We ended up having to move out of the poor community because I wasn't able to attract enough people to shop.
Yeah. Oh, because it's a neighborhood.
Yeah.
Wow, huh.
And then I found out about the Station Square. So and my husband built all the shelves and built the counter space, and then we had to tear it all down. And
Master craftsman.
Yeah, and then we moved into Station Square, and I kind of ran into the same thing. People are shopping on the computers and not necessarily getting to know the small business owner in the community. And that's kind of why I started Shop Local for Good, because over the years I've known a lot of families that started small businesses, brick and mortars, and they put everything they have in it, and they go out of business. Yeah. And what's really bothering me, if you want me to go into it, is there are businesses in our community that only survive because of the Northerners. Because when the Northerners are down here, they save up, and then when they go back up north, the people who live here all year can't support them. And that bothers me.
And it's a short period of time. That vacation period is not very long.
And if you're in the beginning, which we were, if you're in the beginning and you can't get the traffic into your store, then you have to shut down. Yeah, it's a big, huge responsibility. My daughter basically managed the store 6 days a week.
Wow. So we have a young entrepreneur right here with us too. I can't wait to talk to her. She's
But I've built up a lot of friendships with small business owners and the market vendors, and I like to learn from them too, because they learn from me and I learn from them.
And that's what it's about. It's a sharing of information. Yes, we have the consumer today is about convenience. We see it in our selection of food. We see it in how we shop on, online. It's about how do I get it fast and how do I get it cheap. And essentially, the larger corporations have that leverage. They can pump lots of volume at low cost, and by the time it hits our shelf, the prices cannot compete with a brick and mortar, you know, because you're putting in, or a handcraft, because you are putting in the time. You're putting in a lot of time and effort, and that has a value. And then the products you're probably selecting are going to be better anyways, because you care about what you're making. So it is an unfortunate reality, and that's why I say, you know, it's a pity health has to be at a premium in today's day and age, because this is something that was given to us, you know. Clean water was given to us, and we've done so much harm that now we have to clean it up, and now it comes packaged and at a cost, a very high cost, you know, the better it gets. So kind of going back to the small business entrepreneurs, it's so critical that within the Ring environment that we do share that information. We're still starting, and that's a lot of it too, where we're focusing on our product a lot, and we want to make sure we focus on our people. I love the fact that you brought up Chris and Lauren and, you know, myself, and we have some faces behind the camera. But either way, when I hire, that's another thing. I don't hire always for skill. I hire for character. You know, it is very hard to find. You know, but what is your primary concern? And both will tell you it's the community. It's the customer, and that's the right answer. That's it.
Right.
You know, everything else can be taught. But teaching respect, teaching care, it has to be innate, you know. So yeah, it's we want to share.
Well, that's like with me. I love finding out the story behind a small business.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's basically, I started this Blog Talk Radio show 7 years ago in my political days.
Wow.
And then I took a hiatus to launch Shop Local for Good. And basically, what Shop Local for Good to me was, I moved away from the community activism, nonpartisan and partisan, because I saw that.
Let's hear more about that.
Yeah, I saw that what I was doing was important, and I was really good at it, and I was getting paid good money too. Just ask my husband. But I saw that the breakdown in society had to come down to a local level.
Right.
We have to build locally. Out.
Absolutely.
And if I can't help my community, working on a national election isn't going to make a difference in my life. And I can't, and so I'm very passionate about all volunteer nonprofit missions.
Yes.
Because they give everything. It's kind of like a business.
It is a business, absolutely. Yeah. You put more time in it too, so.
Right. So the goal is to encourage people to shop local with the small business owners who also support those local nonprofits more than any corporate giveaway will. Okay. So I'm encouraging my neighbors to shop local with the business owners who support the local nonprofits that they care about. So then the nonprofit gets supported and it goes in a circle. Kind of like the Ring.
Kind of like the Ring, yeah. No, I love that. I didn't know the story behind Shop Local for Good, and now it's come full circle. Let's put it that way.
It's for good, and it's